So for this week's video, I thought we'd do another like thrift challenge or like thrift list, or you know, I'm not sure what to call this series. I thought we'd show you guys what was on my list of things I'd like to find at the thrift store and let you guys know how I did. I'm a little nervous because I didn't do great. This thrift list were actually items that I thrifted in the month of May and were on my May thrift list. I know it's like in the middle of June and I'm already posting this video, but you know, better late than never. So the first item that I was trying to find was those like soffee shorts or soffee shorts, you know, S-O-F-F-E shorts. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. They're just these kind of shorts, you know, just super plain. I'm trying to find some at the thrift store because I found those red ones at the thrift store and they fit me perfectly. I found a few pairs, but they weren't my size. Anyways, so I failed. I didn't find those. The second item that I wanted to thrift was actually on my last month's thrift list, which was a nightstand. I didn't find one. I'm still looking for one, but I did find a good compromise. I found these TV trays that are from like the 70s. There was actually 3 of them, and then I used one as a nightstand. I thought it looked way better than the IKEA nightstand that I had before. Third item that I was looking for was a vintage t-shirt. I'm always looking for vintage t-shirts. I did find a vintage t-shirt. I just found this Hume Lake Faith Olympics. It's like a Christian, I'm assuming camp or whatever kind of like t-shirt, and it's yellow, and I don't have any vintage t-shirts that are yellow. The fourth item I had on my list was a rainbow sweater from the 70s. Those are a little bit harder to find. I'm still on the lookout for them, but I thought I found a good compromise for it, which was this rainbow fish button-up. It reminded me a lot of Lisa Frank, and that was the main reason why I bought it. The fifth and final thing that I was looking for was a mid-century desk slash shelf. I've been wanting to find some mid-century shelves for my office closet room, I guess you can say, but I think my best bet is to look on Craigslist or at estate sales for those items. I don't know if I'm going to find them thrifting. I did find a mid-century desk at a thrift store, but it's just way too big for what I'm thinking of. I did find a mid-century desk, a smaller one, at an antique store that was going out of business. So as you can tell, I didn't do so great this month. There's always next month to find some gems, but I did find some really cool items that weren't on my list. So that's why I think next month I'm not gonna have a list, because I kind of put a lot of pressure on the things that I was finding, and I think when I put so much pressure on it, I didn't find them because there's so much pressure. So I think I'm just gonna chill and just kind of look for things that I enjoy looking for next month, and then maybe I'll bring the list back for the following month. Now I think I'm going to just show you guys what I found in the month of May at the thrift store that were not on my list, but I thought they were too good not to show. First few items I found were just these VHS tapes. The first movie I found was Blade Runner. I didn't know that Harrison Ford was in this movie, and when I decided to actually watch it, I was quite pleasantly surprised. The next movie I found was Back to the Future, which I've been looking for this movie. I kind of want to find the trilogy because I've seen this movie a bunch of times, but I haven't seen the second or the third one. But then the next movie I found was Planet of the Apes, which I believe I've seen this movie, but I can't remember. So I got it. I found this movie, which is My Demon Lover, and when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's definitely an 80s movie. And I'm right, it's 80s. I've just never heard of it or seen it at all. As soon as I came home with all my VHSs, I popped this one in and I watched it. I'm not a huge fan of scary movies, especially scary movies having to do with ghosts or demons. Those ones scare me a lot more than like Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of movies. But I really like old 1950s and 60s horror movies because they're in black and white and they're not that scary. So I just found this one, The Deadly Mantis. I also found the movie Airplane, which is a good 80s movie. The final movie that I found was The Shining. A lot of people tell me I should see this movie, but I'm quite scared because it has to do with ghosts. I thought if I bought the VHS, I would be more inclined to watch it. I was hoping also the not so great quality would deter from the fact that it's scary. So we're gonna move on to the next items. These items I actually found at an antique store. It was kind of in a set. In the set, it came with all of these vintage postcards from Yellowstone. I believe they're from the 50s and 60s. I really like the ones with the drawings on them. There's some with little kids in it that are strange. The next item I have is just a photo album from Yosemite National Park with this bear that has white eyes that's a little scary. It's okay, we still love him. The photo album is also not used. Alright, and then the last item. Alright, so the last item I had in that set was this illustrated guide to Yosemite Valley. It's fun to look through and read about. And while I was looking through it the other day, I actually found this negative that was in here. It's just a negative of these 3 children. It's a little creepy, to be honest. And then these next 2 items I actually found at an antique store as well. It was the actual antique store that was going out of business, so their stuff wasn't that expensive. The first knickknack I found was this Schlitz little cup. Kind of reminded me of like a milk glass. And I also found these Coors salt and pepper shakers. I actually have been wanting to find some salt and pepper shakers exactly like this because I saw some at the Coors brewery in Colorado when we went there to take the tour, and I fell in love with them and I wanted a pair. The last time I found was just this Cream Wheels of Fire album. And I like Cream and I already listened to this. It's quite good. That's everything that I found at the thrift store for the month of May. So I hope you guys enjoyed the items that I found. It's kind of a short haul and a small one, and I hope you guys have a great day. Later.
You're ruining my video.